Hi, everybody, and good afternoon. This is Robin Piper with the Globus family of brands, and welcome to the 21 Days of Vacays by Cruise Holidays of Kansas City. And I think this is such a neat idea because there are so many different topics that I'd love to share with you. And this is my third webinar today, all on different subjects, but a little shorter and more condensed. So hopefully you'll be able to view them and then go on with your day. So first things first, I do have the question panel open. So I will check that periodically and at the end of my presentation to make sure that if there are any questions that I can answer them for you promptly. And with that, I'm going to jump right in. So what does this mean? Celebrate with private touring and small group discoveries. Well, I think we all know this has been a challenging, last 10 months. And I know personally, we have not done birthday celebrations. We didn't do holiday stuff. And I think moving forward, we're going to probably look at traveling together to be the way that we celebrate. And so I thought this might be an interesting topic for all of you, because I know many of you have traveled with us before. You know what we're about. Some of you are new to touring with the Globus family of brands, but I wanted to tell you about these two new ways that you can travel. And I love this quote, "The best is yet to come," because truly great things are on the horizon, right? And we have a way of getting together through travel, sharing a great destination, and also celebrating those things that we miss celebrating together, whether it's a graduation or a milestone birthday, or that you weren't together for Thanksgiving. So we're going to talk a little bit about some great options. So first, we have what we call private touring. And this is a great way to take one of our itineraries from Europe with either Globus or Cosmos brand and make it your own. So it's perfectly planned from start to finish. Nobody has to be in charge in your family. We will send you with a professional tour director and professional driver. You'll have local guides, just like you normally would. The only difference is that everybody in that group is somebody that you know, or maybe once removed. So these are perfect for preset groups like multi-generational, or maybe you missed your class reunion and you've got 6 or 7 couples that want to go to Italy together. Maybe you're celebrating a big anniversary with friends and family. Whatever the case may be, you can take one of our tours and make it private for 2 to 24 passengers. Okay. Also remember that if you want to bring kiddos, that's fine too. We will now take kids starting at 5 years old. And I think a private tour is a perfect place for that, because obviously they're going to be with people that they know and that they feel comfortable with. So the basic concept of this is you will take the base price of the tour. Your Cruise Holidays staff member can help you with this. And then based on the number of guests, there will be a surcharge. Obviously, the surcharge for making it private for just 2 people is different than making it private for 20 or 16 people. But it can be affordable anywhere from, like I would consider making it private for $350 to $500 extra per person in my family. Everybody's got a different price point for that, but just know it's a really neat way to do this. Now, we don't alter the itineraries. So just because it's private, we don't, put in different cities or do anything like that. But again, you're going to be on a appropriately sized vehicle. So if you have 12 people, you'll be on a minibus. If you have 24 people, you'll be on a larger bus. If you have just 4 people, you might be in a town car. So little things like that go a long way. And what I love about it is I've been in the travel industry for 25 years now. This is one of the most affordable ways to make to do private touring that I've ever seen. Usually it's so cost exorbitant that people don't do it. Now, another great option is our small group discoveries. Now, we used to have small group discoveries just in our exotics, like in Southeast Asia or in Africa. Well, now we have them on all of our tours selected dates for worldwide departures. So we have that in the US, we have small group departures, we have small group departures in Africa, in Asia, in South Pacific, in Europe, wherever you might want to go, Canada. We have them everywhere. So typically there'll be one a month, and that is designated as a small group discovery. So again, perfectly planned, you have a professional driver and tour director, and you can do it for Globus or Cosmos itineraries. And on average, you'll have 24 passengers. Now, the current understanding is that we will take, we'll have smaller groups, but still keep the larger motor coaches so that people can socially distance. So while the other for private touring was maybe that you felt more comfortable and you just wanted to travel with your people, this is for me and my husband, and maybe we're not just quite ready yet for a tour bus that holds 34 or 36 passengers. So you understand the difference there? You just want a smaller group, right? You want less people and more space. And so that's what we offer with our small group discoveries. And like I said, we have them on selected dates worldwide. So a couple of itineraries that I thought would be fantastic for small group discoveries, for example, is the Pacific Coast Adventure. This one starts off in Seattle with 2 nights in Seattle, and you even go to the original Starbucks, right? Then you're going to head to Portland. You'll be in Newport, Oregon, North Bend. This whole area in Oregon has some great craft beers and also some fantastic wines. You'll do Redwood National Park. You'll do Eureka in California before heading down the coast. And here's the beauty of it. Everybody who came with you on the trip gets to see the beautiful coast as we drive you from Eureka down to San Francisco, and you end in San Francisco for 2 nights. So this is a US departure, so it would be a small group departure. I can't make this one private. However, I think it's a fantastic itinerary, and I know you will too. Also, a great thing to look at for the US would be small group discoveries for our national parks. And you might have been on one of my previous broadcasts today. I do talk about Canyon Country Adventure a couple of times today, but I do love this itinerary. You start in Scottsdale and fly into Phoenix. You're in Scottsdale, you get to do Sedona and really kind of get your feet, get ready for the breathtaking views of the Grand Canyon. They'll do Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park. Here, one of our local favorites that we do is you'll actually be taken on a 4-wheel drive orientation trip. They're very comfortable, even though the terrain is very rugged, but you'll also have a Navajo guide, which is a fantastic way to see Monument Valley. Then you'll do a scenic cruise on Lake Powell, and you'll be in Lake Powell for 2 nights, which makes that nice and relaxing. 1 night at Bryce Canyon, and you'll have guided sightseeing in Bryce Canyon National Park before heading on to Zion and ending in Las Vegas. And you can actually add an extra night in Las Vegas if you're interested in that as well. So this would be one that we operated a tour very similar to this in the month of November with a small group discovery, and had some press on it, and it worked very, very well. So we're excited that we were able to get a couple of tours out in the month of November this past year. But this is one of our top selling national park tours. Another one that I love for small group departures is our Southern Charms. This is one of those undiscovered itineraries that takes you off the beaten path. You begin and end in Atlanta, so it's super easy if you want to drive to Atlanta from where you are, or if you want to fly there. And so you'll do 2 nights in Atlanta and see some great historic sites. You'll go to the Olympic area and all kinds of great stuff. Then we're going to drive you into Columbia, South Carolina, 2 nights in Charleston, where you'll get to do some walking on the boardwalk and seeing the beautiful homes. Charleston is full of great shopping and great dining and just a really cool vibe all the way around. And then you'll do a horse-drawn carriage in the little town of Beaufort that's right there on the water. I actually have family that lives on Kalawasi Island, which is just off of the coast of Beaufort. And it's a quaint little, cute little town I think you'll really like. And then 3 nights in Savannah, Georgia will not disappoint. Great music, great food. You know, I love the summer nights that were there as well. Before you head on to St. Simon's Island and Jekyll Island, and then you're going to head back to Atlanta. So really, this is a super easy one for families to do. You know, if you want to do a girls trip, you know, I've been missing my girlfriends. This is a great itinerary for shopping and dining and drinking. And you leave the driving to us, and a little bit of history along the way. Next up, this one is a Scenic Switzerland by rail tour, and this is a Cosmos itinerary. So we can do it as a private departure or as a small group departure on selected dates. What I love about this is when you look at the map, you don't see any bus marks. Those are all train tracks. And so the entire tour is done by train. You are never setting foot on a motor coach. And all the hotels are within walking distance of the train stations where you're staying. So you start off in Zurich, heading to Lucerne, you do a little day trip at Interlaken, and then you'll continue on via rail the whole way. You get to do the Oberklipper Pass, the Berninia Pass, you'll do St. Moritz, all before heading back to Zurich. This is a really budget-friendly, but the hotels are so great that you won't know you're on a budget-friendly tour by any stretch. Remember, you could do this with your family, or you could do it with just a smaller group of folks. Either way, I think you would love it. What about the Holy Land? You know, some people don't even realize that we do trips to the Holy Land, and Journey Through the Holy Land is probably our most popular. We have Follow the Footsteps of St. Paul and different things like that. And I always like to remind people that this is a faith and fun kind of tour. So while we will do all the major sites, we would get you, you know, you'll cruise on the Sea of Galilee, you'll go to the Mount of the Beatitudes, you'll go to Nazareth, and, you know, some really amazing historical and biblical places. You also will have a little fun along the way. And this is a great itinerary because of how it's spread out. So you'll start off in Tel Aviv, and then you'll do day trip. You know, you'll be traveling by motor coach, and then you're staying 2 nights before heading down to Jerusalem, where you'll do 5 nights and do side trips to the Dead Sea and to Bethlehem and to different places. So it's an easy tour on the body as well as the mind and spirit. And we do also offer in the Jordan River, you can do baptisms. So that is, you know, an amazing opportunity that not everybody gets a chance to do. But we can make this private, or you can do it as a small group departure, either way. What about Ireland? When I think of all my friends that I miss right now, I think we would have a great time in Ireland. And then I remember that 3 years ago, I did Ireland with 3 of my college roommates, and we did have a blast. And so if you haven't done Ireland before, this is a really comprehensive tour, round trip Dublin. You're going to see all the must-sees. You're going to see the Cliffs of Moher. You're going to see the Ring of Kerry, and you're not going to have to drive it. That Ring of Kerry, I don't even know how they do that. You'll go to Avoca, where they have these weaving mills, and they make great sweaters and things like that. You'll spend time in Blarney, and you'll be able to kiss the Blarney Stone if you want to. Killarney was a really cute little town for me as well. Galway is great. We do a really special local favorite at Rathburn Farm, where you get to go to a working farm. You get to see how the animals, you know, how everything is handled. And then we also do a cooking class where we make scones. And so you actually make the scones, they cook them, and then when you come back, they have them ready for you with fresh Irish butter and strawberry rhubarb preserves, which are incredible. And then Ennis is a really neat little town. You're there 2 nights, and then you can take the bus, like on that free night, you can take the bus into another little town if you want to see more or do more. Limerick is a fun little city, and what I love about it is there's just so many cute little pubs. We actually did a little tour or a little excursion where we went to a pub, and there was an entertainer, I guess we'll call him, and he sang like some PG-13 limericks to the crowd, and we had a good time. And so I highly recommend Intro to Ireland. It is still one of my all-time favorite itineraries. Italian Vista is another itinerary that is very comprehensive if you've not been to Italy. And I know it's on a lot of people's wish list. So if you're looking for a family-friendly vacation, this is a great way to do it. And it's very reasonably priced with Globus. So you start with 2 nights in Rome, then you head to Orvieto, where you'll want to pick up some olive oil because they have every imaginable type of olive oil. Then you'll spend 1 night in Assisi before heading to the Tuscany region, where you'll do a day stop in Florence, and then you'll head on to Padua, Venice Island, Burano. Burano is known for the hand-blown glass. That's hard to say. Of course, Verona, where you'll go see Romeo and Juliet's balcony, and then a breathtaking visit to Lake Como. You can always look for George Clooney there, of course. And then the fashion capital of the world for so many is Milan, and there's lots of industry there, lots of museums, so many different things. So you'll end in Milan. So this one could be a private tour, or it could be a small group departure if you select the proper date. Now the Croatian, this is a newer itinerary, and Croatia has been very, very good to us and in the Globus family, because there have been a lot of great TV shows and different things that have featured this region. So, and a lot of people have done this region, the Balkans, by ocean cruise, but they just didn't have enough time to go inland. So like an ocean cruise would go to Split and Dubrovnik, but maybe not all these other places. So you'll start in Zagreb in Croatia. You'll go through Slovenia, back into Croatia, and take in. I mean, they have beautiful waterfalls, as you can tell, wonderful museums and art galleries, and just a rich history. And on this particular tour, you will also go to some famous sites of where some TV shows have been filmed, like the Game of Thrones and that whole area. They actually will take you to Old Town Dubrovnik, which is the backdrop for the town in the movies. Sorry, I'm totally couldn't think of the words there. Okay, another way to look at your opportunity to do either private touring or small group discoveries would be, maybe you have a group of people, your family, your friends, and you can't decide on where you want to go. European Highlights is a great way to solve that problem, because you're going to have 9 days from London to Rome. So you'll do England, you'll do France, you'll do Switzerland and Italy, stopping along the way with some great destinations, wonderful food, and breathtaking views, all with our professional driver and tour director with you. Your hotels are going to be in the heart of the destination, and you'll have lots of inclusions. So I also wanted to talk to you for a moment about our Peace of Mind plan, which is an easy and complimentary product that allows you the flexibility to move destinations prior to final payment. So if you're under deposit and you want to change at that point before you make your final payment, you can absolutely do that with no penalty to your land or cruise, depending on your itinerary. So you can move it to a later date in 2021 or into 2022. And We have been working overtime for all of our safety protocols. We are ready when these countries open to proceed. So we are anxiously awaiting our return. And of course, as with all of our webinars, you do have a special offer that is $100 off worldwide destinations. There will be some on the private touring. I don't think you can do $100 off on the private touring, but you can on small group discoveries. 6 nights or longer, you just have to book by January 19th. And of course, the folks at Cruise Holidays are ready, willing, and able to take care of all your vacation plans. They are doing virtual appointments, so you'll want to call into the office at 816-505-1500 or email your personal counselor, and they'll be happy to take care of you. So thank you very much, and I appreciate you tuning in today. I hope to see some of you later on this afternoon. Thanks. Bye-bye.